to all. I, Sadhika, the president of Team Orion, stand before you today to present my views in favor of why reservation of backward classes is justified. I think reservation for backward classes is very much justified because it provides opportunity to the backward classes of the society, and I think if it wasn't for these reservations, the Indian society would have discriminated and wouldn't have allowed these backward classes in the society to show any kind of presentation, or they wouldn't have allowed it in any sector, may it be political sector, may it be in educational sector or in employment sector. I think it also promotes social justice, as it promotes if preferential access to education and employment. It aims to uplift marginalized communities and creates a more equitable society. I think it also, for example, I would also like to add on how if in a JEE examination, if a student has worked very hard but is not exactly, resources are not exactly available to him, but he did try his level best. He did what his family could provide him with. He did whatever he could. And if a particular amount or a particular percentage of reservation is given to him and he is given the opportunities, he can do very much better in life. What would you do if you were in a similar situation? If your family couldn't provide for you, how would you react to that? I would also like to add another point. Have you seen the Constitution? Have you seen that since it has been so many years, almost 75 or more than that, and the Constitution hasn't been amended? There is a reason why it hasn't been amended. The Constitution makers of course, had something in their mind. B.R. Ambedkar had something in their mind when they put reservation for these classes, when they wanted to give opportunities to these classes. What would you do if you were in a similar situation? What would you do if your people were not provided opportunities? I would also like to add on to how it provides advantage, or it helps, disadvantaged groups. Time up.
To everyone, I, Prachit Bhavan, would stand against the motion that reservation for backward classes are not justified at all, as reservation for backward classes causes social division. They foster their social division, and it also impacts on the efficiency and effectiveness of the caste system also. Their castes are also being judged on the if a person is getting a seat in a particular institution and SC STs are getting 7.5% and EWS are getting 10% reservation. But what about the upper classes? They are not getting much benefits, and there are suicidal cases. Like for example, Ramesh, a student from Maharashtra, has scored around 90% in his 12th, but did not get his seat in IIT Mumbai. So how IIT Mumbai? And I would strongly disagree that it is justified, because if we also pursue our education further, we would get a tough competition for getting our personalized courses and getting seat in the best institution we can possibly have because of the reservations. Because we cannot get the seat in the best institutions, and social reservation also violates their social reservation also violates their dignity, like their dignity, and as they are being judged on their caste and not their performance. Like they can perform well. Like if a person has the potential to perform and to study, so they can compete from the upper classes. Like many other students from the lower caste are performing very well, and they are getting seats they are getting seats. So this is totally an unjustified point. Thank you so much.
Very well.
Greetings to one and all. I'm the Vice President from the province. First of all, the reservation of seats. Our topic is that is reservation of seat for backward classes justified? So the reservation of seat is mentioned in the Constitution, and it was made on hundreds of deliberations and discussions, and that is the basic spirit of democracy. Don't you think that democracy avenges the people and imparts a sense of justice in them? Isn't it the duty of a democratic nation to impart a sense of equality in the thousands of and billions of the people in the country? So 16.6% of the total population, which translates to 20 crore 13 lakh 78,086 people of India might have lacked resources if they were not provided the reservation at that time. And Jats in Haryana, Patels in Gujarat believe that the reservation provided by the government has helped them in their agricultural crisis. Apart from it, I would like to say that for thousands of years, those people belonging to the backward classes face so much injustice from the society. It has been followed, the Varna system has been followed from around the Vedic age. They have been suffering since then. So if they are still not provided reservation, they are not provided justice, would they look up to the constitution of the country? Would they believe in it? Would they trust it? Would they trust the government? Don't you think so that imparting a sense of equality, imparting a sense of justice is necessary? And just imagine, that was a whole lot of population. Approximately 29 crore of the population would not trust the government. So wouldn't that lead to rebels and rebellions against the government? And I would like to add that if the reservations are cancelled, like right at this moment, don't you think that they will again face discrimination? Even after reservations are provided in society, they are still faced with discrimination. No one sees them as equal. Don't you think so that even like people are still not treated equally? The constitution states that everybody is equal, but do people follow that? Do people look up to that? No. And I would also like to mention that if there... Thank you so much.
Very well.
Greetings to everyone. I'm Reva and I'm the Vice President of Team Alpha, and I stand against the motion that reservations for backward classes are not justified. I would like to support this motion by saying that some people misuse this system. Some SC and SC make fake certificates of their names and they get reservations easily. What would you do if you were in that situation, that you won't get that job or won't qualify just because of a SC/ST who isn't even a SC/ST, who got a fake certificate and got the qualification before you, when you had scored and done more hard work than him or her? And this is causing unemployment. The general category people are not qualifying for jobs, and stats show that 15% of students have committed suicide because of not qualifying for their jobs, and they are having family pressure due to it, and families are pressuring them that they have not qualified, or they are going in depression and anxiety, they are going through it. And recent case happened in Jharkhand that he committed suicide because of family pressure due to not getting any qualifications or not getting into IIT. He faced that. And as my worthy opponent said, that some SC/ST do not have facilities. Then even if the SC/ST has facilities, they all have the resources, they have the facilities, still they don't study. They don't study, and they are just dependent on the reservations they have. And this can reinforce the caste division. And this can also cause reverse discrimination, as they said that the lower class people have been facing discrimination. So now the general category can face discrimination too.
Okay.
that JEE passing marks for SC was 47% and for general category it was 93%. I completely disagree that reservation for.
Well,
So good evening everyone. Being the whip of team Orion, I'd like to state that reservation for backward classes is completely justified. Talking about the justice for the upper class people, what about the justice for the people who belong to these backward classes? If they wouldn't have had these reserved seats in our constitution or in any qualification or whatever, they wouldn't have been able to reach there. They would have tried. They would have been so divided from the class that what about them then? They might have committed suicide that they are not getting the opportunities.
yes.
Also, as my worthy opponents just stated, the social division and the dignity point. I'd like to completely oppose that statement because dignity and social division, if they are not, if reserved seats are not provided to backward classes, what about the division which will be caused due to that thing? The backward classes won't get any sort of respect, any sort of opportunity to perform their things. Also, they said that misuse. One of my worthy opponents stated that misuse certificates are formed. What is the constitution doing for that? That is not the fault of the backward classes. It is not at all justified to talk by them. Also, by giving them backward classes reserved seats, this also addresses inequality for the people from the backward classes if reserved seats are not provided. Also, taking about the example of Narendra Modi, he himself was not at all qualified. He himself used to sell tea in the road. Still, he is such a great prime minister of a country and ruling our country so nicely. Also, this would also address historical injustice and promote social equality. Also, like my worthy opponent stated about hard work and unemployment, that this is causing unemployment. I would like to ask you, how can you say that this is causing unemployment? What about the people who are causing unemployment? What about the backward people then? Also, the hard work point. The backward classes people are working so hard to get at least one seat or to get a good job so that they can change their lifestyle. After all, it was not their choice to be a part of backward classes. They also wanted to be a part of upper class. Also, performance. Performance is dependent on the person, not the class. Also, as they stated about that 90% and they are 47%. If a person do not have that much resources, how can you expect him or her to perform so well without any resources? Still they are trying to do their best and get so much percentage.
Okay, very well presented.
So I being the whip of the opposition team and I do not support reservation for backward classes. Don't you see in daily cases we get a lot of news about fake making fake certificates just so they can enjoy the reservation. Even though they could have studied, they could have done it, but they're lying on fake cases. It also enhances corruption in our country because lots of fake documents are being made, and this just by giving some money to the ministers, people can actually get these certificates and perform the really better, perform good without doing any hard work. And quality of education. Don't you think that a SC passing 47% in JEE and the general caste who could have passed with 89% could have done better? It is affecting the development of our country. Then why are you questioning that? Why are pulls falling in our country? Why are bridges falling in our country? It is because the undeserving people also sometimes get reservation which they do not deserve. Moving ahead, I feel like every student should have unbiased competition. Every SC, ST could have studied. I see the children of workers studying in sunlight because they do not have the resources at home, but they're still doing a lot of better things. stereotyping, obviously. Haven't you seen a lot of cases about scholarship in schools? Many of the students who get scholarships in school are being bullied because people know that they are on the basis of SC, they're belonging to these castes. Stats have also stated that 50% of the SCs who are sitting and giving the examination are not qualified to be employed in a company. The general caste who can belong, who can be qualified, who has a better set of knowledge, can be qualified, and it does affect our economic development as well. How would you feel if you are studying for home for 2 years and you are giving JEE? Even you must have seen your brothers, your sisters studying at home for 2 years, and just by 1% they are not getting the jobs, or they are not qualifying those exams. Whereas SCs, just by 47% they are qualifying. How is it justified? I don't think so. I strongly disagree with the motion. We'll move ahead. My fellow opposition team also stated democracy. I feel that government has not many policies except reservation. Reservation is not the only way to promote equality. There are policies against that. Now, moving ahead.
Bhavesh.
Time now.